with this business and everything else, if you had to look 3 years ahead, 4 years ahead, which out of all the different projects do you think would be the biggest?
We're going to be more of an AI company. We've got a growing and thriving AI practice here, doing lots of integrations. We're one of the leading businesses for integrations in the country.
Yeah. What's been the most stressful moment for you in business?
There's a lot going on with AI. When I saw generative AI with ChatGPT and I was asking it marketing questions that I would give 10-year veteran experienced marketers and it would do a better job at answering that question, I was thinking, oh no, knowledge is being commoditized. Things like being able to pick up a hammer and do things, those are more resilient, but the robots are coming next.
Having a beer with Fred is really about getting to people's passion and what makes them tick. Having a beer and having honest, frank, clear conversation that inspires our audience is what it's about.
Fred, cheers, man. Thanks for having me on your show.
Cordes, that's an interesting name. What's your full name?
So my full name is Watson Cordes Owen. And I am descended from French Huguenots that got here and landed in Charleston. And if you know the Revolutionary War hero Francis Marion, his mom's maiden name was Cordes, spelled exactly the same. So I'm a distant cousin of Francis Marion.
Awesome. So at an early age, you had to learn history because kids would ask you, how does got razzed a little bit as a kid?
Well, I think it does build character to have a unique name.
Yeah. Girls must have loved it, right?
Well, it is nice to be memorable. It's like you're the only one, the only copy of you, So
I've never heard that name before. So have you ever met another one?
I have actually. There is another guy. He went to the College of Charleston. He was a golfer, and his name is Cordes Ford. So he's a cousin of mine. And then I did meet another Cordes not long ago. And speaking of, big marlin fishing and all of that, I saw an article in Yachting Magazine that they were doing a profile on a couple of guys who won the big tournament this year. Yeah. And the captain's name was Cordes. So
Captain Cordes.
It must be another, and their boat was called the Buddy Row.
Oh, wow.
And so he must be another cousin of mine because we're all related.
Gotta be, right? So you start off Augusta, Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah. And that must have been amazing. Did you like golf? Were you into the...
So in Augusta, when you're born, you have to play golf. There's a huge junior golf association. And believe it or not, I grew up right behind Amen Corner. So everybody is that picture of the Augusta National and the azaleas and the little bridge going over the Rays Creek. And
oh my God,
behind there, those pine trees, there's a neighborhood. It's called Country Club Hills. And I grew up probably 200 yards behind that and Amen Corner. And it was a lot of fun, and our family got tickets, and I worked there growing up in the tournament, doing transportation, driving golfers and members all over the place, all over town, and you could hear the roars, coming through the pine trees in my yard, so it was
that's special,
the best viewing experience when you weren't in the tournament.
And then you left town when you
I left Augusta when I turned 18, almost immediately, started college in the summer and went to Georgia Tech.
Nice. Everybody wants to go to Georgia Tech, right?
Not
everybody, but
the nerds do. Oh, yeah, the nerds do. So we were there, and I did the normal 5-year program, and I got out.
Were you a golfer there?
I was not a golfer. Believe it or not, I was a place kicker on the football team.
Awesome.
And so
that's a big time school to be a place kicker.
Yeah, we were a good team too. We were a top 20.
And that means you're a pressure player. I don't know any more pressure than being a kicker.
It's the worst
in college, because they'll hang you.
Yeah,
like that. I didn't know that about you. So what I did hear from Richard Nastry, who's my landlord, and he's become a very good friend. He leans over. He says, This guy hits a golf ball like you can't even imagine.
It's the hips, man. I can crush a golf ball. I can. But yeah, that pressure, even at practice, there's pressure because they'll line all 100 teammates up on the end line
just to get you feeling it.
And if you don't make that field goal, we're all running. And so if you don't make it, you hear about it in the locker room.
What was the best moment kicking, and what was the worst?
Believe it or not, so I was always a backup. I was never the starter. Okay. But the best moment I ever had was we got killed by Florida State. Mm-hmm. And that was back when Warwick Dunn and all those guys were playing for Florida State. And the coach thought it'd be hilarious to take all of the scrubs and backups and make them do a drill called the Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I always wished I was, 6'3", 200 pounds. And so he thought it would be hilarious. The whole team thought it was funny to put me in there and to go head to head with one of the D-backs. And man, I creamed him.
Oh, good.
And I hit him so hard, I bit my face mask. And that was my proudest moment in football, believe it or not, is just laying a good hit on a D-back because nobody expected it.
That's so funny. This show is about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And we've talked in a short period of time. We've met each other. We're about to, so the name of where we're sitting right now, which is your business, and is Bake More Pies. So I'm realizing, okay, is that really the name? Tell me why you named it's a marketing company, very dynamic, and you're the owner of it. And where'd you come up with that name?
Well, if I'd have met you early in the agency, it might have been Brew More Beer.
Yeah, exactly.
But the whole name was a genesis of win-win relationships. It really is about picking your customers as much as them picking you.
Yeah.
And your clients, because like you're looking for win-win relationships. And when a marketing agency does what they're supposed to do, you're scaling and you're growing together. And we've had some very long relationships, and I've been very blessed with a great team and focused a lot on my own leadership and how do you innovate, because as you know, a marketing changes quite a lot.
Yeah. Have you been in a few other businesses? You mentioned.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost 4 years ago, I started a steel company. And
Richard told me about it.
Yeah, Richard's actually a partner of mine.
Richard National. Yeah.
And I grew up doing construction, and so I've always been really handy. And we had big roll formers. We'd make gutter, roof panels, and so this steel business does robotic roll forming of structural steel framing for buildings.
Okay.
And it's a fascinating business called Modern Structural Systems.
Wow. Okay, and it's doing well.
It's doing great. It's getting into the profitability stage.
Wow.
You know how it is with startups.
How many years in?
So we're 3.5 years in now.
Wow,
And,
that's not bad to hit profitability in a manufacturing business in America, right?
It's
assembly and manufacturing.
It's fabrication. So we roll out the frames and we panelize it. So when you build a building, instead of having thousands of sticks, they call it, where you're framing it together, like Jim's story about the little 2x4. What we're doing is we're delivering 8-foot wide pieces of wall, or it might have the entire window opening already in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so all you have to do is stand it up. And the B team got together a building. You don't need the most experienced foreman.
Yep. So that's one business. You have others in addition?
I do.
I know you have.
So we met, not through your landlord, ironically, but through another connection. So one's called RevStream.
Yeah.
So we do digital signage. We do master controls.
Surprisingly, I'm sitting at the bar having a beer last week, and Matt was at the bar who works with you.
Yeah.
And he leans over and he's telling me, and Charlie Breakiron, our GM at Sea Dog Treasure Island in Florida, said, we really should check this out. And he had told me about it before and was excited about it, but it was during a busy time. And I said, well, let's take a ride over and see you guys. So we came over, and I walked into this room we're sitting in right now. And where are we on the face of the earth? This is
we're in Tampa.
Yeah, I know that. What's our address here?
We're 5019 West Nassau Street.
Nassau Street. That's right. And it's a cool building. So we pull up to it, and it's got a fence. And all of a sudden we walk in, and there's like 40, 50 cars all over the place. They're not just regular cars. There's sports cars. There's old cars. And then we walk around the corner, and we think we're in the wrong place, right? I think we're coming to a marketing company. And that's when you popped out. Says, yeah, you're in the right spot. We come back here. We weave through, and then we end up in this production room, which is one of the most modern production rooms I've been in. It looks like a TV set, or even more so. And then you showed me some videos that just kind of blew our minds. And then we went from there to the presentation on what you're going to do for our TV setup in Treasure Island at the Sea Dog there. And hopefully it works really well. And it's a bit of an investment, but I'm a relationship person. And if all things being equal, if it clicks and we have a good feeling about it, I'm going to give it a shot. And I had that feeling with you and your partner, Doug, who And then you show me the video of Jim with the plane and what you did for production there. And I said, I got to meet that guy too. So, and we have lunch shortly thereafter. But you know, it is relationships. It is about, and we talked about the direct response business. I had been in that before with a company called VisionTel in Maine. And you mentioned you're in direct TV, right?
So one of the first jobs I had in marketing is I've always been a nerd. I've always had a great aptitude when it came to the internet and computers. And so I helped grow a direct TV retailer to the 6th largest in the whole country back when the internet was basically, still a baby. It was late 90s, early 2000s. And you couldn't buy Google ads directly. You had to go through this website called Omniture.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, it's been a long journey. I've been working in the internet for as long as anybody that I know.
Yeah.
And it's just learned a lot.
Yeah. And the opportunities even ahead of us, right? With AI and some of the other crazy things that are going on. And, at the end of the day, it's about, I always say, keep moving, let's keep going, because the journey, you better enjoy the journey, right? Like, what's been the most stressful moment for you in business?
Oh, man. Well, I would say, I always try to keep my costs under control. My costs as low as possible, because it lowers my stress to not have a huge nut, every month. But I would say right now, it's very stressful. There's a lot going on with AI.
Yeah.
When I first saw AI 3 years ago, with the latest version of AI, we were doing machine learning and neural networks and those types of things. But when I saw generative AI with ChatGPT, and I was asking it marketing questions that I would give 10-year veteran experienced marketers, and it would do a better job at answering that question, I was thinking, oh no, what am I going to do? And so just my disposition in general is kind of like hitting that D back. It's always been leaning in, hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the best at it. And so speaking of businesses, we have 2 that we're about to spin out and bake more pies. One's called Page Chat and one's called Interviews. And they're AI powered software SaaS platforms. And, that's a lot of stress right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing that I've learned as an entrepreneur is that it's like, you can't be a weakling. You can't be scared of it, and you can't be fearful, because when you're in it, you're experiencing something that you're scared of, or that it's like, man, it seems like insurmountable. And then you go do it, and it's like, wow, I can handle that.
Can do this.
I can handle this. And then you add another thing, and then you add another thing, and you add another thing. And really the key, in my opinion, is leadership.
Right.
It's about helping provide opportunity for others, keeping them motivated to keep pulling in the same direction that you're going. And if you can be a great leader, you can accomplish a lot of really amazing things with the help of a great team that wants to help you.
Right. Well, this is exciting for us to implement this in Treasure Island. And how long is it going to take us? When do you expect it to be fully implemented? And the big thing is, I get frustrated. Whether you're going to be able to do it remotely, control the TVs, pre-program to make sure they're on the right sports channel, add some marketing to the people sitting there, potentially sell people ad space, and that will be very interesting. And I'm hopeful it'll be very successful. When do you think it'll be? I know there's some hardware that needs to go.
Yeah, hardware is the first step. So depending on the current state of the AV system, you have to go in there. And so I think it's only going to take the professionals about 3 days to rewire the way every one of those TVs is hooked up.
It's a big place, 10,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
You have like right now.
This is the Treasure Island in Sea Dog, Treasure Island, Florida. So it works really well here. We can take it to Maine. Try it, do it there, and take it to New Hampshire.
Absolutely. We'd love to do it.
Maybe who knows where else we're going. But what was the most successful? Did you have an exit?
I have never had a full exit before, but I just 3 weeks ago sold 10% of the steel company.
Okay.
To some strategic partners, which is wonderful for me, because now I have a complete strategic group of investors. We've got a residential builder, one of the country's greatest. We have a great commercial builder. We have a great
site work person. They are or no?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So on the commercial contracting side, it's Bay Area Building Solutions.
Yeah.
Site work, it's Cypress Gulf.
Yeah.
Raynor Corporation, they are a professional steel framing business. We have Eagle Construction,
Yeah.
and Markel Eagle, Tony Markel Eagle.
And what's the website for this? If somebody wants to order or do business with the steel company, what's
Modern Structural Systems.
Yeah. Okay. And they can go on and look at that. And how does somebody get a hold of you? They email. What's your email?
I mean, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm Cordes at Bake More Pies, or Cordes at Modern Structural Systems. That's spelled Cordes.
Yeah.
And I'll take your call anytime.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a workaholic. It could be 10 o'clock at night. I'll still take your call as long as I'm available.
So you have children. You have
I do. I'm very proud of my son. He's doing amazing at USF. He's 19 years old in industrial engineering. And then my oldest daughter is 5 today.
Wow.
And so we're going to, after this podcast, I'm going to head on home and celebrate her birthday. And then I have a 3-year-old. And as a 47-year-old man, I now also have an 8-week-old son. So I have a deluxe set of 2 sons and girls with the nice bookend.
That's fantastic.
Package there.
Yeah, which gives you a reason to keep moving, right? Nothing motivates you more than having young kids at home. But
it's the meaning of life.
Yeah, definitely. And having a business in a lot of ways is like having, you're always worried about it. You're always working on it. You're always working with them. Do you have many employees, or is it?
In the marketing business, we have 35 employees.
Wow, I didn't know.
And that's spread across certain departments. So you can have a marketing agency different ways. You can have teams, or you can have departments. In this case, I really like departments because it feels more like manufacturing. It's like, if you need video, you're going to the video department. If you need, and then the account managers are the quarterbacks. So that one has a lot of employees. And then
what brought you to Tampa Bay?
The weather.
Yeah.
And the usual, a girlfriend.
Yeah. And did she become your wife, or
she did not.
Okay.
No. Oh. She did not become my wife, but when I was in college in Atlanta, and the weather's a lot like New England in Atlanta. It's right there at the bottom of the Appalachians, so you get a lot of like cold, wet, dreary winters with no sunshine. And we would go down here to Florida for Memorial Weekend, spring break, Labor Day.
Yeah.
And you'd get around Gainesville, Florida, which is about 30 or 40 miles south of the Georgia border. And all of a sudden you see these cute little puffy Disney clouds everywhere, and it's 70 degrees and you just left 42 wet rain. Right. It's like, I'm going to live there. And so I came down here and just figured it out. Didn't know anybody really.
Just took what year was that?
2001.
Okay. Yeah, I have a cousin that's in Atlanta. He moved down from Boston and he became very successful in Think Jobs, Atlanta Technical Support, and had 4 kids, sold the company for a big number, and he's never left. And his son is a podcaster with Trader Nick. He does Trade X, and he's always like, you got to come to Atlanta. You got to come to Atlanta. And every time I go, the weather's not usually that great, and the traffic's insane.
The worst.
And I've had some good times in Buckhead, but I've never been a big fan. But I have quite a few friends there, and they love it for whatever, it's a great hub if you want to.
It's a great hub.
But I think Tampa Bay area in the hub here, and like I can walk to the Albert Woodard Airport. So I'm waiting for Jim to pick me up.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go hit the country. So with this business and everything else, if you had to look 3 years ahead, 4 years ahead, which out of all the different projects do you think will be the biggest?
We're going to be more of an AI company.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. We've got a growing and thriving AI practice here.
Yeah,
doing lots of integrations. We're one of the leading businesses for integrations in the country. And we, like just last week, I spoke to 95 CEOs about where they need to be taking their business to be ready to continue to, we call it mastering the shift, because knowledge is being commoditized.
Yeah.
Things like being able to pick up a hammer and do things, those are more resilient, but the robots are coming next.
Yeah, with the hands.
Right.
But I'm always a believer, and I learned this in, college. Innovation, technology leads to other careers,
Absolutely.
Other opportunity. And,
it does.
It's like horses. My nephew, Ben Fitzpatrick, who's now learning to brew at Federal Jacks, Kennebunkport, and he's a farrier. And he has a great career taking care of horses. That, and he there are actually as many horses as there were back when everybody was traveling by horse and buggy, and the different careers just change, and the purpose of things change. And I think about in the restaurant business, how people order. A lot of people want a person to come up and say, hey, explain the entrees, explain. But now a lot of people love just ordering on. They don't want to talk to people, So I go to the sauna, and it's funny. I sit there, and one of the reasons I get into the podcast was because there was a guy in there who was talking about he did podcasts, and long story short, he introduced me to his company that did podcasts, and that's how I ended up in it. I won't get into too much detail, but all of a sudden, somebody under 30 will walk in with the pod, the pod's in, and won't say hello. And it's so amazing because I've had some incredible conversations with people. So when I'm sitting there alone and somebody walks in like that, I always bug them.
What are you listening to?
Yeah, what are you doing? Anyways, but I appreciate the time, and it was a pleasure.
Cheers, man. It's great to get to know you.
Yeah, we'll learn more in the future.
Cheers, man.